r/AskReddit by Redmond Dtes. What celebrity downfall did you actually feel bad for? Amanda Bynes. Child actor downfalls are sad because they're victims of their environment and crappy parents. 100% Brendan Fraser. He was sexually assaulted, tried to bring it to light, and Hollywood cast him out for it. Couldn't get acting roles for many years. Edit. Just need to add that the person who assaulted him was a Hollywood executive. Britney Spears. Agree. Industry used and abused her. Judy Garland. Not one single person stood up for her entire life from being a very small child. She never had a chance from day one. Whitney Houston. And then her daughter dying the same way. Jake Lloyd. I was reading into what happened to him after watching Jingle All the Way and recognizing him as a young Anakin Skywalker. Apparently Hollywood and the Star Wars franchise in particular really got to him, and he wound up being diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. It's a shame learning of these unfortunate stories concerning child actors. You can't help but want to root for them, but the reality of their situation is often disappointing. The Star Wars fandom was exceptionally cruel to him. Random strangers telling a child that he ruined their childhood because he played a character that they didn't like is beyond disgusting. Even Mark Hamill has called out the fandom for it. Macaulay Culkin. What downfall? His parent allegedly stole all the money he made from the Home Alone films. He had major issues with substance abuse and addiction later on in his life. The media hounded him relentlessly about stories of Michael Jackson having abused him, but he denied all allegations, saying Michael was nothing but a friend who actively protected him from abuse. He was even made Paris Jackson's godfather, a pretty big testament to the trust and friendship he and Michael shared, as well as many mental health problems. For a while it was looking like he was a ticking time bomb for another series of articles about young child star lost to overdose too early, but by some miracle he seems to have turned his life around, sought help for his issues and gotten clean. Nowadays he's keeping his head down and avoiding the media. But by everything we can tell, he seems to be doing well and is looking much healthier in all the more recent pictures posted of him. Child actors. Funny how a child cannot legally work in a restaurant, but they can be the protagonist of a multi-million-dollar movie. Way too much pressure to put on an 8-year-old. Janet Jackson. I cannot believe everyone freaked out about a hot woman's titty. And it wasn't even her fault. And Justin Timberlake dragged his feet instead of publicly defending her. He suffered no consequences whatsoever, and he's the one who pulled it off. The whole situation was BS. Sinead O'Connor. Anthony Bourdain. That hurt the most. I honestly envied his life. I wanted to be him or to be what he showed every day. Traveling around the world. Eating delicious food from all around the world. That was in my opinion the absolute epitome of success. And it was so sad. Seeing that it wasn't enough was absolutely earth-shattering for me. Britney Spears. She was having a mental breakdown, and the whole world was beating her further down at the time. It was sad to watch. Paul Rubens. He didn't deserve any of that crap. Shelley Duvall. What happened? She was severely abused by Kubrick while filming The Shining. Kubrick, fantastic director but garbage human. Nicolas Cage. Although that was self-inflicted. He owed a lot of money and had to make a bunch of low-budget movies for years to make the money back. But he always gave a good effort, and some of those low-budget movies, like Mandy and Pig, were pretty damn great. And after he played himself in Massive Talent, he's back doing studio movies. So he's good right now. Fatty Arbuckle. Totally railroaded by a prosecutor who wanted to make a name for himself. Finally acquitted after 3 trials. Basically blacklisted by moralist douchebags. And just as he was making his comeback he dies of a heart attack. Michael Schumacher. It hurts. Gary Coleman. What happened to him? He died. I think he was working as a mall cop before he died too. He tried selling cars too. He had a pre-recorded sex hotline too with him talking dirty, but it came off as super creepy and weird. How has no one said Bam Margera? His best mate died and he just spiraled into alcoholism and who knows what else. His body and mind seemed like it aged 30 years in 10. He seems like he abused alcohol so much he has a borderline TBI. I'm glad he is sort of getting his stuff together the best he can. He had a bad case of COVID recently though. Dude can't catch a break. Chris Farley. I wish someone would have gotten through to him about his weight and drug use. Everyone tried, but without success. Odds are he had some severe undiagnosed mental issues. I read the book his brothers put out about him, and you learn that the filming of Tommy Boy was the highest point of his life. He was sober, had dropped a lot of weight and seemed to be having a blast filming the movie. Fast forward to Black Sheep and he was struggling and miserable on set, sad at being fired from SNL as that was his life's goal it seemed, and a drink on a flight ended his sobriety and it all just went downhill from there. His hosting SNL in 1997 was basically an attempt at an intervention 2 months before his death. Between sketches he was backstage using an oxygen tank and sweating heavily, had blown out his voice and on camera just looked in bad shape. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening.